Week 18. 18.
18.
Week 18. And I like it. Love it. Like it. Love. Week 18 and I like it. Oh, Alice Cooper's here. We're here. The whispers have become just, I don't know, just frank chat. They've gone from whispers to shouts to now just confident.
What do you call the whispers when they happen?
You call them destiny.
Destiny. That's it.
When whispers happen, you call them destiny.
The whispers are destiny.
I just want to start off by saying how much I love you. I have a deep. I've never loved you more. This is like through the ups and downs. Some of the seasons were forgettable, but now when the gods said, "No, why aren't you two just on a weekly basis? But why don't you guys just really connect, look each other in the eyes once a week, and document this for the world?"
I can't believe that the first time we do this is what happens.
Wild.
It's wild.
But this season, we knew on draft day what we were getting ourselves into, and the gods said, "Hey, start a fucking pod, and you'll get
and
there.
We will
You'll get to where you need to be."
By far the greatest two-man dance season we've ever had.
Obviously, if you can't tell by now, Tom has done it.
I have won week 17. You have the point lead. I have the head-to-head record. I win the head-to-head record 9-8, which means because you have the points and I have the record, we go to the first ever Week 18 replacements game, a Week 18 tiebreaker for the championship, where we drop all our players and we have a new draft, which we will do momentarily, where we pick 9 players that have not been on either roster all season.
Yes.
This has been the craziest season ever.
The craziest season possible. And it all started and it all ended with McCaffrey.
It did.
And I'd like to thank him. I'd like to actually just thank him and his family and the fine folks at Uber Eats, just the whole McCaffrey clan for this season, because without them, we never would have been there. But when that sticker was peeled,
yep,
the die were cast, and it was ours. It was ours to lose at that point.
You picked him number 1, knowing it was somehow wrong, even though he was everyone's number 1 pick. He immediately gets hurt, doesn't play a snap for you. You drop him. The moment you drop him, it energetically turns your team around. You go on a run. You win 4 in a row. I look like I'm toast. I spend my last waiver to pick him up after you convinced me to do it to spice up my stew. And since I've picked him up, even though he hasn't played for me either, he immediately got hurt for me, I've somehow won 4 out of 5, including a miracle double touchdown by Josh Allen in the snow, to give me a miracle victory that I needed to get, or we would not be here right now. And somehow we are now going to our first ever Week 18 replacements match. I mean, I don't know how much I want to get into this too, but we also have your dream.
Listen, get into it. It's time.
You had a dream week 10. Week 10, we were 5-5. You had a dream that I would finish with 10 wins.
So, I have very vivid dreams. This one was like a marsh. And then we made our way through the swampy marsh and like through these like tall Everglades almost. But like the wind was blowing them. So these are like swaying in front of the back and forth in front of the scoreboard. So I couldn't totally make it out, but all I saw was Midland City, and I saw the record. And I saw 10 wins for Midland City.
A two-man dance dream. A premonition that I will end with 10 wins.
I mean, I'm putting it out there now. The fact that I couldn't see the rest of the scoreboard is a little unsettling in the dream.
Sure. Well, you got to have a little suspense. Your dream knows that. Your dream...
My dreams know better.
Your dream can't tell all. They just tell you what you need to know.
You're right.
I remember when you said I was a little unnerving. I couldn't see the rest of the scoreboard. I thought that was a little bit odd that you said that, because I didn't even quite know what that meant. Like, what would you be missing that would be unnerving? And then, a couple weeks ago, you won.
My dreams are dashed.
Well,
because you can't win 10 games now.
There's something you maybe haven't considered.
Oh,
There is.
no. Oh, no.
There is.
Week
there is,
18.
There
you
is
dog.
one way and only one way that your dream can come true.
Oh, fuck.
Because I have 7 wins. So if I'm going to finish with 10 wins, that means the only way that possibly happens
of course.
is that we get to week 18 and I win week 18.
Which is why the tall grass blowing in the wind, I couldn't see anything else. What I missed there was the scoreboard was showing the week 18 final and then the final standings, which is 10 wins. Dom.
So now the real drama we have left is, was your dream just a dream? Or was it a true premonition? I had the realization if I won 16, 17, and the week 18 replacements game, I would actually finish with exactly 10 wins, which would make your dream a premonition and would make me the very, 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 very unlikely season 9 two-man dance champion.
Hi, but how unlikely is it really? Because I almost wore a shirt tonight. I wanted to get a Sharpie and just a plain white T-shirt, and I was just going to write "fuck the math" on my shirt because we went through that. You got me to actually say on mic. You got me to say, "Oh, you're fucked." Actually,
you did. I did
because you went through. You ran the numbers.
I did.
You crunched the numbers. We ended that pod. We got off.
Yeah.
I might even have texted you, and I was like, something about that just didn't. I was like, I get that it's a long shot. I get that you have to do X, Y, and Z because how many weeks were left at that point? 4 weeks?
5 weeks. I had to win 4 out of 5.
You need to win 3 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Fuck the math is got to be our first merch.
Yeah, fuck
drop.
the math. Yeah, that's good merch.
Fuck the math. It kind of says a lot just about the two-man is here to prove that the prognosticators, the experts, the statisticians, when you get on that dance floor, it all goes right out the window.
It does.
I mean, you were scrambling. You were at the point where you spent a waiver move on McCaffrey on a Vibes waiver move.
A Vibes waiver move, yeah.
You looked into the pool that we're now going to have to dive into for all the marbles here, by the way. You looked at this pool and said to yourself, I need a defense and I'm going McCaffrey.
I'm going McCaffrey.
And you won 4 out of 5. I mean, there's going to be a Netflix, if not a 30 for 30, there's going to be a Netflix doc on this 4 out of 5. And it'll be like 3 episodes too long. You're like, why is this 7 parts, this doc? It could have been 4. But there's going to be one on Midland City's 4 out of 5.
I mean, it should be 18 parts, I think.
It really could. It could be a season. You could break it up into 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It's true.
I kind of can't believe it.
I mean,
if your dream comes true, Murf, I mean, you will have lost the season, but you're like a fantasy football Buddha or something. I'll also say, I'm thinking back to the draft. You traded me Derrick Henry and Josh Allen for Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. And you basically demanded it happened. But one of the things you said was that you thought this would make our teams perfectly balanced, which would make it more likely that for the first time ever, a week 18 would happen. That's what you said.
I did say that on draft.
And if we didn't make that trade, week 18 would not happen.
There was a lot going on in that trade, but I weirdly I got a peek. It was a Matrix moment where I just said to myself, oh, here we are. Like this trade can happen. And that's kind of like says a lot about how often those drafts are lopsided. I was like, oh, it's one tweak away. It's this little trade that you still were kind of like, I don't know. I had to put on my hard sell hat. I was in the goddamn Shark Tank. You were Mr. Wonderful back then.
I was resisting. Yeah, I was Mr. Wonderful.
You had like a bald cap on and you were just like, for those reasons it doesn't fit my portfolio.
I demand to have at least 7 elite wide receivers on my team. And for that reason, I'm out.
There's nothing proprietary about this Derrick Henry trade.
Yeah, just dragging my feet. And then Derrick Henry is like my favorite player. I don't even know what I was doing.
Well, and he should have been on your, like it was one of those things where he should have been on, he belonged on your
He
team.
did. I wanted him.
Yes. And listen, none of this means anything because as we've said before, so this is just oh wow, it somehow worked. My hunches worked out for me. Sure, because oftentimes, I'm the tin cup of this league. Most times it just crashes and burns and it's like, oh, I went for something. I went with the gut. And in this kind of thing, it doesn't work out. My Eagles stack. But my hunches this year, I said, I need Lamar Jackson.
All 3 of your reaches were excellent. That's like a fantasy football measurement. Your reach is like how accurate your insane picks are. You had excellent reach this year. And I win the head-to-head. I win 9-8. I have 2 like less than 1 outer 2-point wins. I can't imagine ever having a fantasy football week that was more miraculous than Josh Allen's double touchdown.
I can't recall a single play that was. It's one of those plays that was. It was talked about in the moment as like a real on the field NFL contest. Like, oh shit, what a wild play! And then immediately, even on air, people are talking about the fantasy implications. Yeah. It's become a Hall of Fame, play. It's Jordan shot over Elo. It's Flutie's Hail Mary for Boston College. It's a lot of these kind of plays where you just go back to and you go, oh, that's that play. That will be remembered in fantasy lore as a play, and that literally won you that contest. You would not have
won me that
contest,
and
we wouldn't be here.
Got us to week 18. Yeah, you would be the champion right now if not for that one play.
But which kind of brings me to, I don't have much else to say about this, but what it brings me to is realizing it's not even careful what you wish for. It's actually just such an unprecedented, like, to do a one-off draft where we are picking the 9 players that we think will score the most points in week 18, which is,
because the minefield of week 18 is that the vast majority of teams have nothing to play for. It just makes it even more of a minefield than fantasy football is, which is why no leagues are playing anymore. Every normal league has already had their championship, because it's insane to do it during this week where you're trying to figure out who's even going to play. So let's get into it. We're going to do the replacements draft. So all our players are gone. We're going to keep a few on our bench for good mojo, but they will not be at play. So we're dropping all our players. But basically what's going to happen, we're both going to just draft 9 players, which is the starting roster. So we're both going to draft 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex, which can be running back, wide receiver, or tight end, and then a defense. And that's basically it. The only rule is you cannot draft anyone that has been on either of our teams this season.
Week 18 replacements draft starts now with the first pick. Midland City is on the clock.
With the first pick in the first ever replacements draft, I select the replacement running back from Tampa Bay, Bucky Irving.
He zagged. He zagged it. My, oh my. I love that move. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think he's going to have a monster week.
And I feel like, it feels right to me. First pick in the replacement draft, pick a replacement.
Pick a replacement. Yes. I mean, absolutely. He's been hot fire. Get a replacement going on the replacement draft. Unfortunately, I can't go in the same direction. And I won't waste any time with the drama. So I'm just going to go right ahead and just get out just going to get this. I went down to Rite Aid. I got myself a little hair dye kit. I got myself some. I'm going to frost these tips.
Frosty tips.
I'm going to frost these tips. Mr. Joe Burrow, I'm going to tell you what, with the season he's had, with the MVP season he's had that he has no chance of getting, they're playing for their life on Saturday night. And regardless of even playoff scenarios, he's got the chip on his shoulder. The Steelers are fraudulent. I don't need to go on and on. Joe Burrow feels good to me. Also, this is great because that was the only thing I knew I wanted to do. And if you took Burrow at 1, I was taking Bucky Irving at 2. So
were you really?
I swear to God, yes, I was. Because also we don't have to work. There's none of this jockeying for two quarterback. You know what I mean? Like it's different from the regular draft where
it is different in that way. Quarterback will now be my last pick because there's no reason.
Of course, there's absolutely no reason.
I'm peeling.
Ooh, I feel this peel.
Wide receiver, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. This guy is going all in on the Bucks.
Apparently.
This guy is going all in on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You bet. Listen, I want you sporting the creamsicle orange jersey for the Buccaneers. I want you in a Vinny Testaverde creamsicle orange jersey for this Week 18 matchup.
I should.
You
I would
really
love
should.
one of those heinous orange jerseys.
And with your salt and pepper, that heinous orange actually plays.
Yes.
I feel like you have you're distinguishing enough up top to get away with that like cotton candy clown show of a jersey.
Yes, now that I've aged into.
You have.
Yes.
Yes.
I've aged into orange.
You have aged. You're aging orange. Well, I'll tell you something, Tom. I'll tell you something. I think we gotta go with T. Higgins in that spirit.
I thought so.
Let us go to Bungletown. Cincinnati is a fine place. We've stayed in 2 cities. Tom is Skyping in from balmy Tampa Bay, Florida, and I am on the other end of this Skype coming from blustery, wintry Cincinnati.
I thought about T with my last pick.
Sure. I mean, look, what is he in will he be franchised? He's playing for something. They're playing for something and he's playing for something. He also had a massive week listen, Burrow's just going to slang all over town. He may have 600 yards. The Steelers are fraudulent. Will we leave Cincinnati and Tampa Bay or will we stay consistent with our cities?
I'm peeling. I think it's time.
You're peeling. Are you on a plane leaving Tampa Bay?
I am on a plane leaving Tampa Bay.
Oh.
I'm feeling lucky, so I'm gonna test my luck in Las Vegas.
Oh, there he is. Yep.
Tight end Brock Bowers.
Indeed, my friend. Yeah, that was my toss-up last pick. I just didn't think Higgins made his way back around.
He doesn't. If you go Bowers,
you go T.
With
Higgins,
almost 100% certainty, I go T. Higgins.
Yep. And I'm just not. We've also now left into no man's land. You are testing your luck in Vegas because who knows?
Who knows?
They're playing. They're playing for pride. For all the hemming and hawing we did about tight ends this year.
Yeah.
We took 4 of them, and none of them were Brock Bowers, who was the best tight end all year. He finished number 1. Yes.
I believe he did.
Yeah. So you finally got him. So justice is served there. You got yourself some Brock Bowers. Let's get back. Let's come back. And I'm going to say I've got to go with. All right, here I come. Josh Jacobs. No more.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs has got to go.
He does.
He's got to.
He's the clear top back that never was wavered by anyone.
Yes.
Very clearly.
That's right. I don't have any, now that we've left that Cincinnati, Tampa Bay territory.
Well, we haven't left quite yet. Chase Brown. Running back.
There we are. Love it. Again,
might not even play.
Has a nagging ankle.
If Chase plays, he's worth it for me there. If he doesn't, I'll just have to pick up someone else.
I love your logic there. And as always, I respect this strong picks. A lot of strong, steady hands. We knew Midland, though, even coming into the unprecedented Week 18, I figured Midland would have a very steady hand here.
Well, you're not so bad yourself, Sloppy.
I like where we're at now because I feel like now we're getting into it. I'm gonna do it. This is a funky pick.
Tell me.
This is a funky pick, but it's George Pickens. It's Pickens. I'm going with Pickens.
Ah, yes.
I'm gonna get Pickens in there.
George Pickens. I'm peeling. I peeled.
Peel. He's peeled. I feel this peel.
With the 9th pick in the 2-man dance replacements draft, I select wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, you son of that ain't no banana peel. That ain't no banana peel, Tom. I love him and I wanted him. And I could have had him. Listen, you're going to win by 7 points, and it's going to be because of Brian Thomas Jr. And Jacksonville's a perfect example of a team that just they're not going to get the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right. Yes,
they're
exactly.
Completely out of the playoffs. They've been the laughing stock.
You're right.
The Colts are a husk who will just roll over and allow Brian Thomas Jr. to get 212 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like the Jacksonville will run up the score. It'll be one of those where it starts getting chippy in the trenches. Like there's a lot of flags thrown late in that game because the Colts are like, Jacksonville, what are you doing? Let's just end this. And they're like, no, we're just going to, if you won't cover him, we're just going to keep throwing him. Oh, I love it, Tom. I love that pick. I love that a lot. We're in just such strange territory.
We are. I'm loving this draft.
This is great. I mean,
it's fun.
Yeah. This is batshit. This is the NFL blitz. You play Madden during the regular season. We've now picked up NFL blitz for N64.
We're leg dropping each other.
I like Mr. Cortland Sutton.
Yes. Strong chance I took him next.
Yep. Must. I can't let you get two hands yet. That Brian Thomas Jr. pick was, I'm not going to lie. I felt that one.
Yeah.
That was my exciting, so I can't let Cortland Sutton sneak by.
I'm really torn.
I'm proud of us thus far through 5 rounds. We haven't peeled a banana and slipped on it yet. I'll tell you that. Here we go.
He had a bad game last week, but I still believe. Wide receiver, Terry McLaurin. Yes. Love that. Oh, my. I'm just going to open myself up. I'm going to take a breath, open myself up, and have something speak to me. I believe I've only made one Oda Mae Brown reference, Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost, in this season of the pod. I think it was actually at the last draft, in fact. Mm-hmm.
So now
I will.
I will. Yes. Can you think of a movie for the supporting role would have just, had it been different, would have sunk the movie? Like, that movie is iconic, and all the pottery scene, all shit. Oh, Swayze and Demi and Swayze in their primes.
Saw The Substance, by the way.
Oh, how? Yes, I've heard great things. Yes,
incredible.
Okay, good. Then I got to get into The Substance.
I cut you off though.
No. That's the Whoopi's role in that film is just like, as a supporting role, I've just never, like, that movie is made by that supporting role. I don't know that.
No, yeah, you're right. She's like the heart of the whole movie.
A film that gets so much accolades and could be cheesy, but we've all loved it and seen it, a bunch. It's like, it's one of those that has staying power. I'm like, oh, that supporting role was Oda Mae Brown is a very special. Well, in all that, I feel like I'm just going to end up with a question mark pick called Zach Charbonnet.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
A Chardonnay from the vineyards in Seattle.
I love Charbonnet.
Charbonnet Ramsey. Let's hope not. You know what? At this point, I've given into the fact that I may not end up starting a single running back that I draft. I may hit them waivers. Who knows? I may hit them waivers. Bucky is the only, in my mind, Bucky was the only true thing. The only slam dunk at running back, at least for me, in my mind, which is why I do love you. In a shocking turn, it takes Tom a week 18 replacements draft to take a running back at number 1.
That's right. First time ever. You're right.
Absolutely unheard of. I did not think it was going to happen.
I'm going to do the thing I feel best about. With the
I don't interpret that.
With the 13th pick in the replacements draft, I take the Tampa Bay defense.
Yes. I knew this guy was Tampa 2. He was Tampa 2 all day. You had better get that orange creamsicle. I'm going to listen. Look out for a package to arrive in the mail this week. I'm sending you a creamsicle Testaverde. You're the Tampa 3. The hell with the Tampa 2. You're in the Tampa 3 right now.
I've really gone all in on Tampa Bay beating the Saints team, I guess.
And I wonder if you're done. Yet. It may very well. Here's the thing. It's the steadiest hand. You know what this is. Here's what and then I'll just get in because I'm hammer pants time. So I'll just dive right back in after this. But I do want to just comment. In the bizarro world that is the Week 18 replacements, there can be no better substitute for this is vintage Midland Chiefs stack, but yet it's somehow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 18. That's what you get out of the week. You're going for you're like, here's what I can trust this week. They're going to lay it all out on the line. Why not go all in? They've been the surprise all year. There's a reason none of these guys were picked up by us, but they've been goddamn consistent.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving, a replacement himself. My question is, when do you get your Tampa Mahomes? When do you? You don't need to do it until the very last pick. And if you don't do it now, oh boy, I'm pulling my offer of the creamsicle flap rim. All right. Well, with the Hammer Pants pick in the 2024 Week 18 replacements draft, Big Sloppy selects Jacoby Myers.
I like it.
Jacoby Myers? Who knows?
2 Raiders.
2 Raiders taken.
Okay, so you are down to a tight end and a defense.
That's right.
And I am down to a quarterback and my final flex. All right, I'm peeling.
He's peeling. He's peeling.
With the 15th pick, wide receiver, Ladd McConkey.
Oh, yes. Here comes some picks. These are some funky picks. Love. I'm going with George Kittle.
Yeah.
It's George Kittle time.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
It's George Kittle time.
Oh, boy. Here we are. The decision I've been avoiding. This is the 9th round pick. This is my quarterback.
You've been laboring over this. That's what's funny is you've been laboring the whole time.
I have.
You knew you were able to wait till now, so you've been wrestling with who's under center for Midland. You kept refreshing the page, hoping that Shane Falco himself. I got my Jimmy McGinty pork pie hat on. You're trying to draft Shane Falco with your last pick.
I'm going to go with my gut. Fuck the math.
Sure you are. No.
It's the replacements draft, Murph. I'm going with the replacement.
The pick of the draft.
Sam Darnold, QB.
The pick of the draft. That is a greasy peel, my man. Oh my. The creamsicle hat has been rescinded. I've resanded it.
It makes me. I thought about Baker. Sure. It's a little too much Tampa.
It's too. I mean, listen.
And then the other person. I feel like the obvious pick is actually Jaden.
Obvious pick is Jaden. Yes, of course. Yeah,
Daniels.
Yes. I thought it was between a Daniels Baker.
It kind of was, and
sure.
but he's been whispering to me all day, and I didn't know if I would do it.
I mean, he's the dark horse the two-man nation didn't know they needed. Let's just say that.
And then Darnold, he's literally a replacement. And I don't hate being on the Sunday Night River.
However juicy I get on Saturday night, yeah, I will now just be like, Sam Darnold is waiting on the river.
I kind of can't believe I did it.
I can't either. I'm still processing it. It's a shock. It truly is a shock because you were so steady and strong throughout this that I'm like, bold.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had it in you with the last bit. No wonder you're laboring over that. Well, I respect that. I'm going to go with the Eagles defense. No drama with mine. I mean, this guy just stole all the thunder. I just mutter, yeah, and Philly's defense. I'm kind of shocked. I'm shook, I should say. I'm shook. The Darnold pick shakes me. It shakes me. I'm going to stew over it. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to talk about it yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to unpack it a bit.
Yeah. I recognize it's a bit of a wild move.
It is, but your board is so strong and steady throughout that I love at that position with the last pick of making that. I like it. I like it a lot. This is how you replace. This is how you do it. You won the points. I won the record. And the winner of this week is the Season 9 Two-Man Dance champion. Buckle up for Saturday night special. It's time for the Frosty Tips. They've fully grown out. You can only see the Frosty Tips now in the right light.
And he's playing better and better. It's kind of exactly what we said.
Yes. It's some sort of demented, like, what's that biblical, the Samson, his hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his power is derived from the frosted tips growing out of his hair. Yeah, I don't know. He started at Eminem. He went to Mark McGrath. Now he's at like that dude from Insane Clown Posse. I don't even know where what these.
Yeah, the story of Burroughs' hair is in Deuteronomy.
It is. I'm looking for a biblical finish out of that hair.
I feel like it's miraculous that we got here. I don't know if we'll get here again, so I want to savor this. And
Yes.
And I love you, and I love the two-man dance.
I love you too, brother. This is our moment. Let's bask. Let us bask in it. I'm gonna savor it right down to the Sunday Night River.
Next time we record, there will be a two-man dance champion.
There most certainly will be. And I'll tell you this, if Sam Darnold throws a touchdown pass to himself, I am retiring. I'm retiring. You won't hear from me for at least 6 weeks, Tom.
That's more than fair, Murph.